Redditors, what's your hack to fall asleep quickly? The boat technique. A military buddy told me about it when he was stationed in Mali. Imagine yourself in a small boat, on a stream running through a forest with the canopy above you and the sun shining through, or drifting on a lake under a starry sky. Let yourself drift. Another thing to do just beforehand that helps you relax is to contract each muscle for a few seconds and then release it. Start with your toes and work your way up to your face. It's very calming. I was taught this technique to stop panic attacks. It's called progressive muscle relaxation. TIL. Cool. Thanks for the info. I definitely originally thought the stream part was what helped with your panic attacks. Some call it an orgasm, at least when it's all at once. A good wink will take you out sometimes. I learned this technique back in undergrad and have learned to use it to avoid unnecessary muscle bracing. I noticed that I used to tense up while watching football games or MMA fights on TV. But nowadays my greatest place to practice it is during dental work. I've gotten much better awareness of when I'm tense, then quickly relax and focus on my breathing. Is this related to body scanning? I play a little game with my eyes. I stare blankly at the ceiling, eyes wide open, and when I blink I lower my lids by a small increment. I do this again and again, my eyelids drawing closer with each blink, until they're so close that I'm struggling to hold them apart. And, after that final blink, when I can't keep any distance between my lids, I keep them shut and try to drift off to sleep. If it doesn't work for about 10 minutes, I start the game again. I did this as I was reading the description, works kinda. Sounds quite tiring lol, probably what makes it easier to fall asleep. Holy guacamole, I need to try this. Thank you Redditor, I praise you. I used to do this to my kid. Just blink 5 times, then 10, etc. Maybe also because I would count to her in a low, soft voice. I don't think we ever made it past 40. When I was a kid, my dad recommended a game to me. Start counting down from 28:34 and come back when you reach 0. The situation occurred many times. The number was random, higher than 1000. I never reached 0. I try to keep my eyes open, staring at the one dim source of light. Then I count backwards from 99 with each breath. Furthest I've ever got was like in the 40s before falling asleep. This sounds like an activity to turn your brain off. When I want to sleep, I take long deep breaths, which relax one on their own, but I really try and focus on the point where I begin exhaling. I don't mentally count down to it, I just let it happen. In my mind it's almost like going, there it is. It helps my brain not devote activity things that will keep me awake such as the events of the day. Combining this with the deep breaths, it works wonders. Did this and spotted a spider in the corner of the ceiling, thanks. We do the same thing. Routine. If you can maintain the same schedule, do it. I take melatonin and magnesium 30 minutes before my target bedtime and go to bed the same time every night plus or minus 10 minutes. I regularly fall asleep so fast I don't remember laying down. What about the melatonin dreams? I have tried using melatonin on more restless nights and my brain just gets barraged by super vivid imagery and enthralling adventures through dreamland. Makes me feel almost like I didn't get more than a couple hours of sleep. This is why I stopped taking melatonin. Had a dream once where I had fried eggs attached to my tongue and couldn't get them off because they were too oily. When I finally pulled them off, half my tongue came with them and I was left bleeding profusely with rebarb protruding from my tongue stump. No more melatonin for me. I used to take a lot of melatonin. Never once remember having a dream. My sleep was a black hole. I stopped for the same reason. Imagine walking down the street at night when suddenly you feel a strange itch in your feet and then boom. You're rocketing into the sky going Mach Jesus into space. I just kept going and finally was in Earth's orbit where the ISS is and breaststroked my way over to the space station and held my thumb up to the windows like a hobo hitches for a ride and asked them to take me home. Chucked that shit in the trash the next day. Sounds like it induced nightly trips. If I pay extra, can I have this trip? Had a ton of bizarre and sometimes freaky dreams taking melatonin over the years, but I absolutely want to fly into space and wave at the goddamn space station. Suck all the thoughts out of your head with an imaginary vacuum. You have to make the motion of holding the hose up to your ear, then to prevent any thoughts from getting back in, place an imaginary cork in your ear. Came up with this as a kid and am still using it decades later. Edit, typo. This is pretty cute. Imagery is so important with these things. I imagine a tinier version of myself inside my brain organizing all my thoughts into different file cabinets, like that one episode of SpongeBob. Once it looks like all the files are organized, I try to sleep. If I have another thought, I'll have the tiny me take that new paper and file it away. It doesn't matter which file cabinet, but I like to imagine I put them all in the check tomorrow cabinet. A nighttime routine. I floss and brush my teeth, wash my face and put on night cream. Then I journal, put on lip balm and hand cream. By this point my body is usually getting the idea we're going to bed. Then I put a Ghibli sleep playlist on with a 1-hour sleep timer and read a book I've read a million times until I can't keep my eyes open. It's crazy how much it has helped me sleep. I'm usually asleep within 15 minutes. On nights where the insomnia hits, I watch Camping with Steve on YouTube, which usually works. This type of routine is called having good sleep hygiene. It only took 30 years, but it has made a huge difference. I love Camping with Steve. Sometimes I launch a video while preparing to go to sleep and I just get so cozy I fall asleep like a log. I'm autistic and I use my imagination to help me sleep. I'm 40 with 3 kids and I still imagine myself flying a plane or battling aliens. This also helps with my panic attacks. I've had enough that I can sense they're coming. For done reason, it helps my mind from getting stuck in the panic attacks whirlpool. I do this too, not autistic. I'll just imagine different storylines that are entirely in fiction. It's like telling myself a bedtime story. I actually enjoy this time of day. Getting into bed and getting comfortable and building worlds and filling them full of lore. It's really relaxing. Best time of the day. You get to disconnect from it all. I go to many different stories, but mostly ones where I get to play out different versions of things I wish I could be/do. I wear an Oura ring to monitor my sleep and every single night I get a red flag because my sleep latency is too low, about 3 minutes. According to the app, this is a bad thing because it means I'm overtired, but in reality I've gotten really good at falling asleep. Please like and subscribe for more daily content. I publish new videos daily, otherwise please feel free to check out another video. Thanks for watching.